Hi, this is Ernie. I'm the guy who had $6 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. For those who have never watched my video, I am known to sell options and make money. How much money do I make? $60,000 to $70,000 a week. And how much time do I need to spend? About 90 minutes. And for those who might be thinking, what is he talking about? What is this option thing? It's a financial instrument. One of the most lucrative ways to make money. And it's not one of those risky ones you buy and hoping that it's like it will skyrocket. No, when you sell, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but somebody's paying you to patiently wait so that you can make more money. Yeah, I know that sounds too good to be true, right? But that's what selling options is. So, but before we get there, I want to talk about how you can possibly do that down the road when you're starting young. If you just started your job or you are finally debt free, what do you need to do in order to build a portfolio and start building capital? Why? Because you don't want to be a slave to your 9-to-5 job. You want to be able to enjoy life. You want to be able to afford things without having to worry about how you're going to pay for it. And most importantly, I'm going to show you my house. I'm not talking about the size, how clean the house is at the moment, because we just had a cleaning lady come in and you don't have to clean your own toilet. We have 6 toilets. I do not want to clean my toilet and spend 3 hours scrubbing, cleaning, organizing things when I could simply pay somebody else to do dirty work. So how do you get there? You need to learn about saving. You need to learn about budgeting. You need to learn about investing. And believe it or not, a lot of people think investing is extremely hard, but it's actually very, very simple. And you do not have to overcomplicate things. And for those who I'm sure have heard this, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? You could keep it extremely, extremely simple. So let me just give you an example how simple it could be. So you open an account, brokerage account. It could be anyone. It doesn't have to be SoFi. It doesn't have to be Fidelity or Charles Schwab that I typically use. It could be any account, and you automate investing. So $100 every week, and that $100 you buy an S&P 500 fund called VOO. That's one of the most popular index fund for S&P 500. And if you just don't touch it, don't even look at it. But you need to sign up for something called DRIP, Dividend Reinvestment Program. So that each time you get dividend, or interest, you use that money to buy more shares so that you'll be able to use or benefit from compounding over 40 years. So if you start at 25 and by the time you retire at 65, $100 a month will turn out to be $1 million. You never have to touch it. You never even have to look at it. It will just be done automatically. And of course, if you do $400 a month, that will be $4 million by the time you retire. Or if you watch my videos and learn how to do options, $100 a week rather than $1 million by the time you turn 65. This one requires work. You need to look at it every week, spend time to look at it, and sell options against it. But that work will enable you to get to 7 million rather than 1 million. Or if you put $4 million and do exactly the same thing, then you'll be able to retire as multimillionaire before you turn 40, like I have. So where do you start? Get a copy of this book, The Everything Guide to Investing in Your 20s and 30s. This will tell you what stocks are. And I know a lot of you guys don't understand because this is not taught in our education system. What stocks are, what funds are, what bonds are. How do you maximize your 401k? Because every time you contribute to 401k, it decreases the amount of taxable income. So your taxable income is actually lower. So you pay less tax, and companies typically match that money. So you're getting free money from your company. It talks about Roth, because if you invest in 401k or IRA, By the time you retire and start taking money out, you have to pay capital gains tax. But in Roth, you never ever have to do it. And this is a mistake that I made when I was younger. So this book talks about how to maximize 401k, how to leverage Roth so that you don't have to pay capital gains. If I had utilized Roth account since I started investing since I was 17, I would have gotten, I think, close to maybe $2 million worth of money that I do not have to pay capital gains, only if I had known about Roth. So it's massive. All this so that you do not have to think about going to a 9-to-5 job, because that's the beauty of it. You get to really enjoy your life, enjoy time with your friends and family, people who you really, really care about. This book also talks about private equity. Believe it or not, if you go to SoFi app, it enables you to invest in private firms through some of the funds that's available, like SpaceX or XAI that Elon Musk has, and a bunch of other companies like OpenAI and so forth. So this book actually covers a lot. It talks about IPOs. It talks about the risk associated with IPOs. It talks about Forex. I tend to not trade Forex. I've done it before. You really have to look at the market all the time, not 90 minutes a week. But this is going to be extremely helpful. So please get a copy of it. And this might also be available at the library. So I know I'm not supposed to say this, but get a copy at a library so that you don't have to actually buy it. But so that you can put that money into savings and invest and at least get one more share of SoFi, right? Or pull money together and buy with a couple friends. You can Venmo each other and so forth so that you guys can all share, and that enables you to have a good discussion on what they have learned, what each others have learned, and what you are going to do. Because having a support group when you're investing, where everybody's researching together, sharing ideas, it's extremely helpful. So what's the key takeaway? In order to enjoy financial freedom like I have and retire in your 40s, maybe you don't want to retire in your 40s, but retire comfortably, you need to start investing. And how do you invest? By making sure that you save money, as much money as possible, by cutting waste. No more Starbucks outside, no more fancy stuff, no expensive car that you cannot afford, and selling plasma to pay for it. Yes, some of those ladies who are watching, no more of that. And put that money into savings and investments so that money will grow for you. But rule of thumb is at least $100 a month and putting into VOO. Hopefully this was useful. I know you guys will have a lot of questions, but please feel free to reach out. I am really, really behind in my direct messages, but if you comment, I try to respond as soon as possible. Please like, repost, and follow, and comment if you have any specific questions. Hopefully this was extremely useful, and hopefully you will continue to watch my other videos as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.